Hello YouTube. So, the final episode of Invincible Season 3 has just dropped. And I have to say, this show still continues to impress me, even from Season 1. With its compelling characters,
the lives you've taken, you think you're a bot?
Rich storytelling,
the bad guys.
You killed them!
Incredible. And when I mean incredible, I mean incredible voice acting.
I am so lonely.
Alongside its subpar animation, it remains one of, if not the best animated shows out there. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. In this video, I'll be breaking down my thoughts on this season's characters, story, voice acting, and obviously, its animation, before giving my final thoughts and rating at the end. There's a lot to unpack, so stick around. But before we get into it, spoiler warning ahead if you haven't watched Season 3 of Invincible yet, or even the series as a whole. I highly recommend doing so before watching this. But come back because this video is always worth a watch. But with all that being said, let's dive in. When talking about the show's characters, the first one that comes to my mind at least, and honestly should be everybody else's because it's kind of in the name, is Mark Grayson, or better known as... In this season, he struggles with the fact that he killed Angstrom Levy in the second season, consistently beating himself up over it. This guilt weighs on him heavily as he tries to balance his responsibilities. And to make things even more complicated for him, his half-brother Oliver has now just developed his powers. He also has to worry about Oliver, who doesn't share the same moral outlook as he does. At least until the latest episode. If you guys remember, after the fight between Mark and Conquest, he later meets up with Oliver, and Mark apologizes to him and says this. Due to YouTube copyright, I can't show the scene, so I'm just gonna explain it right here. Basically, Mark told Oliver that if any villain or anybody lands their hands on him, family, or loved ones, he's gonna kill him. This moment marks a significant shift for Oliver and hints a major development in Season 4. His statement could mean many things, perhaps foreshadowing a darker path for either Oliver or Mark. But until Season 4 arrives, we can only speculate on where the relationship will go from here. Speaking of relationships, Eve and Mark are finally together after 3 seasons. Yes! Now, I'm one of the people who doesn't really have much hatred towards Amber like some other people, but I am happier that Eve and Mark are finally together. And not only helps Mark from all the trauma he has had in the past, it also helps Eve be more forward towards her parents, and them having to accept her for who she actually is, a superhero. Next, I want to talk about a character I wasn't really a huge fan of before Season 2, but who has shown tremendous growth after that. And that character is Rexplode. I've always appreciated characters who've gone through some type of redemption arc, with one of the best examples being Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. After spending 2 seasons chasing Aang, Zuko finally realizes that his father's ways and his own actions are completely wrong, leading him to switch sides and help Aang defeat Fire Lord Ozai. Similarly, before Season 2, Rex was pretty much a complete asshole. He cheated on Eve, treated people terribly, and generally was insufferable. However, after nearly dying while fighting the Lizard League, he undergoes a noticeable change. He starts treating the people he cares about with more respect, becoming a more reliable teammate, and to his friends, this growth even further reflected in his relationship with Shrinking Ray, showing that he's not just some arrogant hothead that he used to be. But the show had to do a whole 180, making Rex have to sacrifice himself so that the Invincible from another universe would not harm anyone else.
My entire goddamn skeleton, dickhead!
But as a whole, I think Rex in this season was an amazing character who truly grew to what he should have been, and in my opinion, was one of the best characters from this latest season. In Season 3 of Invincible, the storytelling reaches new heights by giving each character storyline the attention it deserves, creating a well-balanced and engaging narrative. The season effectively addresses previous pacing concerns, ensuring that no character's development feels rushed or overlooked. Rudy and Amanda navigate the complexities of their relationship, particularly dealing with Amanda's de-aging condition. This subplot delves into the themes of identity and acceptance, highlighting the challenges of maintaining personal connections while helping others who are struggling to get help for themselves. Like I said before when we were talking about the characters, Mark and his half-brother Oliver find themselves at odds over their views on heroism, especially concerning the morality on whether or not killing the villains is the right thing to do. This conflict not only tests their siblings' bond, but also forces them to confront their own beliefs about justice and responsibility. With Debbie Grayson, she embarks on a relationship with her colleague Paul. No, not that Paul, Spider-Man fans, this Paul. This adds a new dynamic to her life, and this adds development to Paul, which explores the complexities of dating within a family of superheroes, as Paul adjusts to the realities of Debbie's world, including her superhuman children and their unique challenges. This is probably the funniest one to me, but the interaction between Alan the alien and Omni-Man evolved from adversarial to more complex, reflecting themes of alliance and redemption, especially when Alan is talking to Omni-Man in this scene.
I think I miss my wife.
Also talking about this when we were talking about characters, Rexpo's journey towards redemption is portrayed with depth, showcasing his growth from a brash, impulsive hero to more thoughtful and responsible individual. This arc adds flair to the team's dynamics, illustrating the possibilities of change and growth within the superhero community. By dedicating the appropriate amount of screen time to each and every storyline, Season 3 ensures that every character's journey is engaging and contributes meaningfully to the overall plot. This balance keeps the narrative fresh and prevents any side plot from feeling stagnant, resulting in a richly layered and compelling season. I don't think this part of the show gets enough credit for how much effort they actually put into this. Yes, I do hear people talking about it, but I don't think people are talking about it enough, and that's the voice acting. The voice acting has improved with each season, and it's clear that a lot of thought and resources have gone into the casting to the right actors for each role. They've invested heavily in actors like J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man, Steven Yeun as Invincible, Walter Goggins as Cecil, and hopefully I say this right, and if I'm not, I'm sorry, Jason Mantzoukas as Rexplode, and even Aaron Paul, yes, the guy from Breaking Bad as Powerplex. This stellar casting has truly paid off, bringing depth and authenticity to each character. Now, with the good, somehow there always has to be a bad, and the bad in this show is the animation, sadly. I understand that the first season had a limited budget, which affected the animation's quality. However, as the show gained popularity and attracted a larger audience, I expected the animation to improve. While it doesn't need to match levels of modern shows like One Piece or Demon Slayer, given its growing fan base, it deserves better than scenes that look like images with backgrounds. At times, the animation quality can pull you out of the scene, making it harder to stay immersed in the story. I will say that the last episode with Conquest probably had the highest animation quality, likely due to the increased funding and resources allocated to the episode. I understand the team can only do so much with Amazon's budget, so I hope for the future seasons to continue to improve in this area, providing a viewer with a more seamless and visually engaging experience than what we've gotten for these past 3 seasons. After all of this, do I think this is one of, if not the best animated television show out right now? Like I said before, absolutely. There's so much to love, like its characters, story, voice acting, and even more that I didn't even touch on. These positives far outweigh any cons. I believe that if they just improve the animation quality, this show could become a masterpiece that's hard to beat. But as it stands, my final rating for the show Invincible Season 3 is getting a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, because because all of this is free of charge, and let me know your thoughts on Season 3 of Invincible and what you'd like to see coming forward from Invincible in general. And with all that being said, noches.